All right, grasshoppers. This is it. It's Monday morning. It's almost 11 o'clock. What the whole, like both universes or all the universes are waiting for all weekend.
They're lining up.
Right. All comes together. They want to watch the great Mark Puttenfink, the Jersey boy, back from the Hamptons.
Yeah, I had enough of that.
How you doing there, brother?
Good, man. What's going on?
Not much. You know what? I keep forgetting to mention this over and over. The Patriot Training Systems is Mark's company. Trains everybody, Navy SEALs, retired Navy SEALs, football players, hockey players, mothers, kids. There's nothing you can't do. Aliens from outer space.
Can't train my dog though. That's the problem.
Well, that's
she fell in the pool.
Oh, but she doesn't like swimming. That's right.
She's a Portuguese water dog, and then we were at a flea market, not a flea market, a farmer's market or something. And some dude came over and said, "Oh, that's a great, dog." They're trained to go 15 feet down and get the nets over in Portugal. Like they swim down that deep and they come back up. And I'm looking at not our dog. She fell in the pool and she just total panicked and Beth had to grab her by the collar and pull her.
Oh, is that right?
She was not having it. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
I hate that. I'm not laughing at her, but that would be a funny scene. A dog is supposed to be a good swimmer panicking. Yeah. Mr. Barry Shelley, you magical creature.
There he is.
That's the one and only. I like that. We went.
He's already working on the winter thing for the Warrior program next year. He's got some really cool stuff he's putting together.
I like that Bill Brown, retired Navy SEAL, called him out last week there too for doing all his stuff for veterans. It's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
All right. The world is going crazy.
Oh yeah.
Crazier. But the funny thing is, like we were talking with Bill last week, like there's so many this country itself is a fantastic country. There's so many fantastic people in it. Man, there's some nutty stuff going on.
There's every day in the Post. There's always one article.
Yeah.
And let me find it. Jumped out. It's just the irony. Like you can't make this stuff up.
I was just looking at it online too.
Yeah. Let me find that. It's a really tiny little article, but hold on 1 second. Apologize. I should have had.
So, this is a transgender woman demands ex-boyfriend to return her testicles.
Well, that's right. I mean, sometimes it's the ring they want back. Oh, here it is. Because I mentioned this here. So Zoom, right? They're asking employees to return to the office for the first time since COVID.
Oh.
So wait a minute. Why do they need an office?
Zoom. That's funny,
man. It's kind of counterproductive.
I won't get into politics. Why is Donald Trump sticking his nose into the soccer world?
Well, I mean, because it's politically advantageous.
Well, good point.
You know what they did,
Oh, is that not? That's right, because they didn't stand up. Is that what it was?
Yeah, and then they lost to Sweden.
Oh, okay.
And it was ironically the woman who missed the penalty kick was the proponent of this behavior. Let's put it that way. And my feeling is this: look, you're playing for your country, and if you can't do the bare minimum by respecting or just keeping your mouth shut and standing there and internalize it, because we all have different views, and if you don't like it, leave. I mean, it's that simple, and that's the problem with most people that have that mindset.
Yeah,
it's easy to find fault everywhere, but look around the rest of the world and see how things roll. It's not so great.
Yeah, no kidding. I hear you, and I agree with you. I guess the other way of looking at it, too, people say, well, listen, the men and women went over and fought and died in wars, so we have the right to do what we do.
Yeah.
I agree. There's a better place to do it. You'd get more people on your side is the reality.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't take the world stage where you're representing your country to, it's just not right. So,
Ira Matthew, our famous Ira Matthew here, Kotze for president. Have you ever met Chris Kotsopoulos, Mark?
No.
He won Mr. Congeniality 0 years in a row.
The streak continues.
He's an opinionated man. Yes, opinionated. Yes. We need to buy Mark as our buddy Rod Jameson, the magical creature up in Buffalo.
He wants me to wear an Orioles hat. I don't mind it. Maybe I'll go out. You know what, Ron? I'll go find one over the weekend.
Orioles hat. Are they pretty good this year?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I know.
I just don't follow professional sports.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Man. I'm not. I mean, obviously we follow hockey, particularly the Rangers, but
The rest of it, I love. I mean, growing up, I was a diehard baseball fan. I could tell you every player on every team. But it was different then, Tom. Even in all the sports then, because you had a team, and it was the same group of 18, 20 guys for 5-6 years in a row. Now after Catfish Hunter and free agency, it's kind of crazy.
What A few questions. So, like now, it's the ice bath and red hot or red light sauna and all this kind of
Mhm.
stuff. There's always seems like there's some new.
Yeah.
Do we call it an invention or like it's
Well,
like this?
some are
Right.
newer discoveries, some are just rediscovered, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's like the old saying, don't ever throw out your suit because it'll come back in style again
Yeah.
someday,
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. But yeah, a lot of it. Look, any modality that's therapeutic, and there's so many different ones. And I was telling you before, I'm reading this book called Breathe by James Nestor, Nestor. I think everybody should read it. It's an amazing book. Really, how important breathing is, and we never consider it.
Yeah.
We just don't consider it, and how it can really alter your life.
Well, and that's with the breathing. I learned that. Again, I had that trainer buddy of mine, Robbie Sherman, really good guy. He's a lot like you, not just in the physical part, but the mental part too. And he trained with me before went on Survivor. And the breathing, he really kind of led me into it, where he would have me recite a poem, and then I could recite the poem verbatim. Then he'd get my heart rate elevated, either riding a bike or he'd aggravate me or something different. I'd go to recite the poem again, and I couldn't do it.
Can do it.
Yeah.
If
So
you
then
read this book, you'll be able to do it.
yeah, well, he taught me about the breathing, just
slow breathing.
Yeah, the big part is slow down your heart rate and everything. And it was really interesting because you mentioned before we got on the show about professional athletes. It would be so useful if they knew this to stay. So now their heart rate is elevated. Now they have to make decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now how to slow down your breath. So that's pretty cool.
Well, and we know that that you lose motor skill as your heart rate increases. All right, so at anything above 145 beats a minute, you're really operating on gross motor skills. Like skating. Skating would be considered a gross motor skill. It's not refined. I mean, it really is, but it's not. In other words, it does enter the wild part of your brain fairly rapidly, but maybe other things like saucing a backhand past 30 feet, that takes a little dexterity, and you may lose some of that if your heart rate gets above 145. Right. So if you can get back to the bench in between shifts and use the breathing to bring your heart rate down, and then you take the next shift, excuse me, it could be beneficial.
That's cool. That's cool. I was also reading about, I know you know this stuff, but as you exercise, your muscles secrete hope molecules. I think it's called hope molecules that go to your brain. It's proteins and everything that go to your brain. I thought it was very interesting. It works both ways. You see people talk about how your brain is like a pharmacy and your muscles are also a pharmacy. Once you work them, they release all these.
Well, there's a direct connection between exercise, even just walking, and releasing serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone. And the best thing to do if you're not having a good day or you're a little depressed, just work out.
Yeah.
Go for a walk, whatever it is, whatever your particular thing is, do it.
I used to think it was just the exercise was I enjoyed it, but there's actual science behind it, how it works. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's really effective and it's doesn't cost anything.
Yes. Good reminder there. So we had the shoulder check up in event on Thursday. Dave Maloney was the MC, did a fantastic job. So the event, family, unfortunately, poor family lost their young son, 16-year-old son, about a year ago up in Darien, Connecticut. And obviously it's devastating for the family. So it's not like they'd move past it, but instead of doing nothing, they make this movement called shoulder check. And I didn't understand quite what shoulder check was all about. I thought it was just about hockey, but they did a real interesting thing. And Dave led this. So the place was packed. Must have been about 2,000 people in this smaller rink, Terry Connors. Then all the players, like NHL players, Marty St. Louis was there, Chris Kreider, Zibanejad, a whole bunch of guys. And they had another team of the kids were the age of the son that lost his life. So they played before. So they got like probably 40 guys on the ice or maybe more. And then all the people in the stands, and Dave led them, said, reach out, touch the shoulder of the person to your left. And then I can't remember the three sayings, but he said, are you okay? I'm here for you. Something like that. It was a pretty cool idea. To actually physically go up to somebody, put your hand on their shoulder and ask her, okay. It's particularly focused on young kids, but it's not limited to them. And that was a very cool idea about, reaching out to people more physically and
yeah, absolutely. Because people are, like I said, if they're not doing well mentally and they're self-isolated, they may not realize that people really do care about their well-being.
Yeah,
just that little gesture could be a huge thing.
Isn't it true? Yeah, you make such a difference. And you don't have to know the person either. If you feel like somebody's walking by him. Yeah. I did tell a story that was about 2 months ago. I was in Manhattan, and an elderly lady was kind of going an uphill slant. You could tell she wasn't really too mobile. And she sat down in a chair outside one of those outside restaurants. And I went over thinking, okay, I'll help her out. So, Pam, are you okay? She turns and looks at me. Yeah, I'm okay. What do you want?
Yeah, it could backfire on you around here
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
But like, I tell the story more because it was actually kind of funny, really. You know, he was just
Well,
serious about that.
I had pulled into the park at this grocery store, right? And to my right was a elderly couple, and they were in the handicap parking, right? But I was talking to my buddy Brad on the phone at the time, and I was gesturing to her, just leave the back of the cart there. I'll bring it back for you. She thought I was giving her like attitude about not bringing it back. I had to grab the cart. So no. She got really upset. No, I'm just leave it there.
I was like that too. So when I go to the beach in the March, I go to the gym first, and I go to the beach. It opens at 6 o'clock. So you go through a small little town, Old Greenwich. I want to go nice and slow, speed. It's like 15, 20 miles an hour. So I'm trying to do the speed limit. I think, you know what? Everybody else is driving really too fast, and I'm yelling at them. So I'm gonna follow the speed limit or close to it. So this person behind me is tailgate me. I think it's an older lady in a Mercedes. And I'm thinking, oh God, come on. I'm trying to do the right thing here. So then I get to the beach, and there's a guy walking 2 dogs, and he thinks I'm going too fast. He starts giving me the signal, like, "Hey, slow down!" Like I'm stopping. I think here's one person behind me mad because I'm going too slow, and this guy's mad because I'm going
you can't please everybody. That's for sure. Well, it's probably maybe true. I don't know. There's no story where guys go driving for an interview, for a job interview, and
right.
ends up getting into it with a guy and gives him a finger, right? So he gets to the building, straightens his tie up, gets his resume together, and guess who's got to sit down in front of him? Yeah.
That's funny. That is a good one. All right. Ira's got a question here. Tom, I asked you about your target heart rates in your Moonlight March. So the first march is at 3:53 in the morning. That's a short one. Just go out there, post a motivational video. I don't concentrate on my heart rate. The idea with the march is it is a march. You're trying to get, so it's a walk where you're trying to get the most out of each stride, so it becomes a march. I really don't concentrate on my heart rate. I'd be interested to see what it gets up to. Probably, what's your resting heart rate?
Mine probably about 61, somewhere 60.
Okay.
Yeah, but to really get an accurate resting heart rate, you have to take it in bed before you get up out of bed.
Oh.
That's the true resting heart rate, and it's probably lower, like 55 maybe.
Okay.
Gordie Howe had a resting heart rate of 45.
Wow.
Which is kind of like you're dipping into the marathon athlete that has lowered their heart rate. But there's so much evidence that the best thing you can do for yourself is exactly what you do. Get up in the morning and start walking.
Move.
And get connected.
Isn't that true?
So it's down.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I agree totally. Advice. Here's a question by Ron Jameson. Advice to improve prostate issues.
Well, I'm not. I can't even speak to that.
Prostate.
I mean, there are saw palmetto, which is a supplement you can take, and most of these over-the-counter like prostate supplements you see, it's saw palmetto, which does have some effect on the enlarging of the prostate. But the other thing, I would seek medical attention.
Yeah, really, that's kind of stuff that we don't really.
No.
And do you think, I guess it's your health level too, like how healthy you are in general.
Well, I mean, it all ties into one and the same, but yeah, and men in general do start to have prostate issues, but a lot of it is just that maybe it's poor blood flow because you have some metabolic issues with your with weight and things of that nature. There's a lot of factors. Yeah.
So that's tied to blood flow, is it? Your prostate issue is tied to blood flow?
Well, I mean, I don't think that prostate issue itself is tied to blood flow, but just general overall health. Believe it or not, they say that having an orgasm is very healthy for you because no, I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious here. That there's evidence. There's no really.
So just like the brain releases proteins, the orgasm releases sperm.
So what it is that I just read an article, research on it. So that
hold on, let's back up. You did some research on orgasms?
No, on the prostate cancer. So PSA is your antigen. So if you have a higher antigen level, it means that you likely have prostate cancer. But what they have found is that men who have very low PSA counts have a very, very, very active sexual lifestyle, even into their later days, because there's something in that you're releasing that's bad for your prostate. That's in there. So it is. How we always say, I've just released some poison. Well, you actually are to a certain extent. Yeah. I don't want to get too deep into this, but
see the many benefits of sperm, right? I mean, look at all the things, the joy and pleasure that sperm brings.
Some people I see shouldn't have been born.
Oh God, I know. We had this
But
talk.
listen, so like if you're standing online at the store, you see, I'm just trying to be healthy.
Right.
Do you think?
Say, listen, can you help me can you help
Do
me
that
with
at
my
home.
prostate?
Yeah,
That's
do
the
it
good.
at
That'd be
home.
a good pickup line at
But
the
no,
bar.
but it's exactly. Listen,
When I go to Costco
yeah,
next time, I'll say that
Yeah.
to some woman. Like, can you help me with my prostate?
yeah,
Been kicked out of Costco forever.
yeah, and slapped hard.
Oh yes, Costco. Oh, I forgot to post. I looked through my old pictures in my phone. I was cleaning up, and I saw a picture of my buddy Norris that I had from Costco, the Chicken Man. So I got.
Oh yeah.
Great guy.
He's gonna get a little fan club going.
Oh God, he's
Yeah.
fantastic. He's
Yeah.
constantly got the smile going. He's just like he's that guy. Actually, I remember because this older gentleman had cornered him and was showing him pictures on the phone, like pressing me pictures of his family or something on the phone. Like he wanted the Norris to see
Sure.
the pictures of his family. I thought that was pretty cool, right? That's a relationship
Yeah.
I had with him.
Yeah, there was a guy at the rink up here years ago, and he, no matter what time of the day or night you went to the rink, he was there. He was a porter, cleaning up, and a great guy. So I said to him one day, I said, "Man, do you ever take a day off?" He goes, "No." He said, "But my friend," I said, "Where are you working at?" He said, "I work at the Stand and Lean Company." He said, "What's the Stand and Lean Company?" He goes, "I stand on First Avenue and I lean towards Second."
That's cool. That's cool. Hey, going back real quick to the event on Thursday, I finished that. It was one of the best events I've ever been to. The mother and father of the young boy that we lost, they're both in the marketing world, so they really knew how to put on the show. Yeah, great. Again, there's outside in the parking lot, there was all those the food trucks and all that kind of stuff. I didn't anticipate that.
Mm-hmm.
And then inside, like I said, Dave Malone led the fantastic thing, the great national anthem. Really, like it really, it was one of those things that was kind of like a really, obviously the people wanted to remember the boy and the sad story that they lost him, but it's also like celebrating his life and trying to do something in the future for other people. So it was really cool. Father's a great guy. I didn't get to meet the mother, but I saw the father there and he was cool too. And the NHL players were fantastic too. Like it wasn't just showing up. And again, a lot of them, Jonathan Quick, Matt Molson, I'm going to miss guys. That Zegras was there with the talented kids. So, and they really had fun out there, put on a show for the fans. So it was one of those things like you're proud to be in the hockey world because it was all hockey people coming together.
That's great stuff. Really.
Yeah.
Is there a website that we can all go to?
Yep. So shouldercheck.com, I think it is. Yeah. So that's just the kickoff event. They want to continue this event on to really spread the message about reaching out to help other people. So very cool. Sad story, but they did something good about
positive
from it. So, yep, totally. I'm trying to think of what else is going on. We've got we need to push the August 19th. I saw where Bill posted a couple things. I shared the stuff he posted and then on the Warrior for Life, which I was on the board of that down in Virginia Beach, it's Navy SEALs and that. They were really promoting the Remembering Extortion 17, which is a big thing for this event.
Which was this August 6th. So it was this weekend. And Bill had mentioned that there's some Gold Star families that are going to do a tandem jump, leapfrog in on the day before the swim. Some of those Gold Star families lost a family member in Extortion 17.
So people don't know, they name all these missions that they have. So Extortion 17 was one of the missions where they lost. Did they lose the entire crew?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody survived. And I don't want to put the number. I think it was somewhere around 19 SEALs were lost that day.
Wow.
I would need somebody to ping. This morning, by the way, this is another thing I want to talk about. Chris Wiley, he's a SEAL. He's the director of the Michael Murphy Navy SEAL Museum in Long Island. He's putting together a 1.5 mile obstacle course there because they do the Murph Challenge there because the museum is named after Lieutenant Murphy. And he was down on the docks this morning because I'm going to be down there Thursday putting the barges together. But he in the pouring rain this morning, he's down there and he's putting together the pull-up stations because the ones we use, Bill donated to the museum with the caveat that just once a year you bring them back down for the swim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he was down there and he was pinging and he's going, "I'm soaking wet." I said, "Man, that's the best part of it, isn't it?"
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I think about people get all upset about the rain. It's water. You take a shower anyways, right?
And like we were going back and forth about it, and I said, "Yeah, it's amazing how like if you're in a restaurant, somebody spills water, people jump like it's hydrochloric acid." Right? Am I right or wrong?
Sure. It is true. It is true.
And even go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, if people who don't know, Michael Murphy, Lieutenant Michael Murphy, was the head of the group, the Operation Red Wings. That was 3 of them lost their lives, based on the book, or the book was based on that mission, Lone Survivor. So that's
Marcus Luttrell.
Yeah. Quite a story. Man.
Yeah. So yeah, Chris was down there this morning, and but we've got to get out there.
Yeah.
He sent me some photos. I'll forward them to you. Like the pull-up.
I've always, you know what? I've always
Yeah.
thought about that too. I'd love to. Yeah. I guess Murph was a big hockey fan too.
Yeah, you know, and like I'll talk to Chris about it, but I'm sure he might be open to like doing some kind of fundraising events there for like,
Absolutely.
you know, we get
I'd
people
love-
just compete against each other and raise
Yeah.
money for different causes. Yeah.
I'd love to help out on that
Yeah.
one. It's a great cause. What a hero. So if people haven't seen the movie, it's Lone Survivor. I guess, I mean, it's Hollywood, so you don't know if all the details are correct, but it's a
Pretty
basic
close.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, imagine that right there. Like there's 4 of them against hundreds of the enemy that they had to fight, man.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you I had on a Navy SEAL, Tom Shea, THOM, and Shea, SHEA. He led a group of SEALs that went over to Afghanistan. The mission was just to kill as many enemies as they could. And he's wrote a book. I think he's awarded the Silver Star as well. Wrote a book. I can't remember the name of this book, but he was fantastic. I had him out like 2 or 3 years ago, and he was great. He does a lot of motivational speaking, and he really led me into this question. He knew where he's going. Like he's telling how they got into a battle, ran out of ammunition, so they had to drop a bomb or a bomb strike called in. But it was one of those danger closes to kill the enemy. It was almost eventually kill them or possibly kill them. So the bomb went down, didn't kill them, but blew them back into this building to the point where he was like, do I just lay here and die? And he's telling the story, you know, it's like, he's a good storyteller. Do I just lay here and die or get up? And he says, I got up. I realized I had to get up and fight. And I said, well, what came over you? Was there some music or something that came in your head that pumped you up? He said, this is where he was leading me into that question. He goes, no. He says, I didn't look at the big picture of all the men that I had to fight. I just saw the one man in front of me that I had to take out. And then I saw the next man and the next man. And he was really cool and talking about that's about life too. You're going to be facing problems, and instead of looking at the big, huge problem that's devastating in front of you, just do the first thing on your list of things that you got to get done. So he's pretty cool when he talked. I guess I get fired up because Bill Brown posted on his Instagram site, Freedom Spirit 77? Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah, that's his Instagram. Freedom Spirit 77.
Right. He posted a great video of the guys before the swim, I guess from last year's. The guys are jacked up with shorts on and flags over their shoulders. So it's pretty cool.
That pre-video was put together by Joseph Castle, who's a SEAL.
Oh,
And he does some filmmaking, but he's been traveling the world doing some security work. But yeah, he does some filmmaking.
very good. And they put the song to it. What was the song?
I forget. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool though, right there.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
really
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once again, just we want to promote that, getting closer and closer to it. August 19th
19th. Yeah.
at Liberty State Park. What's the
It's the Fallen Towers Memorial, which very iconic. It's like 2 slabs that go this way, and you get there early enough in the morning, the sun makes like a circle through the monument, and it frames the Freedom Tower. Because when you look through the memorial,
Right.
the Freedom Tower is right there.
Right.
So I got a photograph of it last time.
That's
It's
cool.
amazing.
and it's got the names of all the people we lost
People that we
on the wall.
lost. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That whole that thing when that's going on, I know I've said this over and over, but man, that is one of the most patriotic things I've ever,
Yeah,
maybe
it
the
gets you
most
all.
patriotic
Yeah.
thing I've ever been involved in.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good job. Good.
So we lost Gilles Gilbert.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he passed away over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
74. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
74. This is going to sound like a morbid question.
Yeah.
But do you ever think what the ideal age is for you to die?
I don't know if there's an ideal age. It's all bad, I guess. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to be, I think about that because, time's going on. Do you want to be like 95, just sitting around like,
Well, that's
and
yeah.
and we got to
Yeah.
keep moving. Just keep moving.
Yeah.
And then when you stop moving, you figure out it's time.
Like I get pissed now because I see all these videos talking about how at 65, the guy was talking today. He was trying to be helpful. He was talking that at 65, your body's going to stop working, and that you're more susceptible to falls and breaking your hip.
Well, yeah,
Like-
but if you've lived the typical American lifestyle of poor dietary habits and smoking and drinking,
Right.
and sitting at a desk, and
Yeah.
it's going to be the truth. But to make a gross generalization like that, it's
Yeah.
really.
Well, it's one of those
irresponsible.
things. Yeah, it's one of those things that people just. You're right. It's a gross general. They just
Yeah.
say it like it's a fact that at 65, all of a sudden
Yeah.
now your body's going to stop working like that.
I mean, I'm 67. I could do still because I do a lot of them. I can still do 20
Yeah.
pull-ups in a row. I can grab a 15-year-old kid or even a 25-year-old, and I don't know if they could do that. So wherein lies that age?
I know. I know.
logic.
Like I do notice, like, okay, maybe I could deadlift 500 before. I can't do 500 now, but I can still.
No, yeah,
deadlift.
things change, but
Yeah.
but what I'm, again, it's you and I stay active,
Right.
and that's the key. So we're not the typical, when I go to the doctor, which I'm going tomorrow, get this elbow looked at. First thing they say, well, what medications are? And I'm nothing.
I know.
Vitamin C, vitamin D.
Yeah. Isn't that true? It's like
probiotics.
medications. Like you're just supposed to be on medications as you get older.
It's the way it's gone. I mean,
Yeah.
most people my age are on 4 or 5 or 6 different medications.
Right.
Blood pressure, cholesterol, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but patient cured is a patient loss.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm sorry, patient cured is a customer loss.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, eat healthy, exercise. God, that's medication.
As I mentioned before, reading this book about breathing, just learning how to breathe properly and different things you can do. Can't make any money selling that.
I know.
Sell the book, but you can't put it in a pill. Can't put it in a mixture. And that's the problem with our whole way we look at medical.
Yeah, we just kind of get in that rut where we just go along with the flow, right? It's like, here's what it's supposed to be. That's the thing.
And there's so many things that contribute because now, because of healthcare, the way it is with insurance, when you go to the doctor, they put you in a room, you think the guy's going to come in like 15 minutes, and they're like, what's going on? Because they stack it. They just put as many patients as they can because they're only going to get a percentage of what the bill is from the insurance company, and they eat the rest. Right. So, it's easier for me as a physician to have a 35-year-old guy in front of me who's got elevated cholesterol. Just go, here's your script and go. You hit the next guy without sitting down and saying, listen, we got to let's look at the whole picture here. What are you eating? What's your lifestyle like? What's your stress levels? And all those things that factor into it. It's unfortunate. That's the way it is, man. It's mass production.
I wonder if we could ever figure out how many procedures are completed that do not have to be completed.
Here's Google. Take the time and Google how many people die per year in medical accidents.
Oh, wow.
You'd be surprised.
I'm
not placing blame, but it's.
We heard the story about the guy who went in for surgery. He had to get his leg removed, and the doctor actually removed the wrong leg.
Yep.
You hear this story? And he couldn't sue anybody?
No leg to stand on.
Didn't have legs. It's terrible. That is awful.
I dated his sister. She was missing a leg too. Eileen was her name.
Oh, do you know what time it is when they paint the? Do you know why they paint an elephant's toenails red?
No.
So you can hide in the raspberry bushes.
I've never seen one then. Now I know why.
Bad dad jokes. Oh man, isn't it funny how as a dad, you just want to embarrass your kids when they're smaller?
Oh yeah.
Like
well, you know what I used to do? I got this from Dale Purinton, right? So I forget whose stick he was using, whoever it was, Mission or something. And the rep comes in, they're always there at the. Yeah, I'll have your sticks next week. He goes, put my name on it. That's why I said that was Hamster, right?
Hamster.
Yeah, that was Dale. So now I picked up on it. So when we go they give you that puck that lights up when your table's ready.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll come out and say, lay law, table of 3. So I'm sitting there with the boys, and they're like 10 and 12. Okay. Hamster, table of 3. I'm like, come on, boys, let's go. And they're like, why do you do that, man? Why do you do that?
Oh, the other one is where you're in a restaurant with your kids, and the waitress comes over, and you say to her, like, how much is a cup? Should be a pot of coffee. Should be a cup of coffee. And she'll tell you it's $2, whatever. I said, how much is a refill? I said, no, that's free. So I'll take the refill, please.
I'll take the refill.
My boys, and they know it's coming, right? So it's oh, Dad, please.
Well, sometimes, some of this stuff works because this is going back years ago. It was Father's Day. Beth and I took my parents out for dinner, and the service was like, we're waiting an hour for the freaking bill.
Right.
So finally, we had the waitress say, hey, we need the bill. We have a flight to leave for Costa Rica in 45 minutes.
Right.
Got the bill. Beth's looking at me like, can you come up with a better story than a flight to Costa Rica? So that's what I came up with. It worked. We got the bill.
See, I think that's a talent to be able to come up with that stuff.
Or here's one you could always use in the diner. What would you like? Give me the turtle soup. I'm in a rush. Make it snappy. There you go.
Nice. Yeah. I heard that one. That's good. That's a nice one. It's a nice one. What else is going on? Kind of quiet time of the year, right? I don't like.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm kind of jacked up now between we have this event coming up, the swim, and some other stuff, and also September 11th. This is going to be the second year we did it. So last year was the first one. So going back during the COVID year, I think I mentioned this, that my friend Blake and I, we did 2,977 reps, push-ups, pull-ups, punches, everything, to memorialize the amount of those souls that we lost on 9/11. We did it on 9/11. So I said to Ted Curtin last year, I said, let's do this on ice. will take 2,977 shots on ice. We had first responders come in.
That's right. You told me that. Yeah.
We had some alumni, like Kenny was there, and a couple guys, and the rink has that electronic scoreboard that circles the rink, and it had all the names of all the souls lost.
Oh wow!
And it was pretty cool. So we're doing that again this year. It's at American Dream Rink. I'll have more information as we get closer to it, but we're gonna do the same thing. And poor Jimmy Jam, our goaltender, was throwing up because he was taking a bazillion shots like nonstop.
Yeah,
it was great.
All right, so I got an update. There's a Larry Melnick saga. He wants to come in for the golf tournament in September.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been going back and forth with Jackie. We were pretty sure, we don't know for sure, that he must have been slightly inebriated the other night there at some PBRs when he was trying to communicate with Jackie. And it was pretty comical. She told me the story about his communication skills while he's inebriated. And I've speculated that.
How were they? I mean, are they sufficient?
Well, he was doing it over like emails. And it was for Jackie, I think it was like 11:30 at night. So that means it's like 8:30 for Mel. It was more
drinking and driving, drinking and texting, drinking, all three of that.
Terrible. Yeah. I should put my phone away when I've had a couple of cocktails. He's texting. I look at my text the next day and go, oh God, that's embarrassing.
That's not what I meant.
I know. I can't really, I don't think I would speak that way, but when I'm texting, I think when I've had a cocktail, it's just really short. Right. So people take it that I'm mad at them or something like that.
Right.
They should know better.
No one seems to want to make a phone call anymore. I don't know.
Oh, I know. You know what? I get in that habit too. It's a very good point by you. I got to stop doing that. I get stuck in that rut, especially if I just met somebody. You want to.
Right. And especially you got a lot to say. I mean, I can't text fast enough.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And what I do is a good point. So if I got a lot to say, I just shorten it because I just.
I mean, I look at some of the younger people. They can zip it out. I'm like, Remember when you had that thing three times? You got the letter.
How about? Do you ever use the dictation thing where you dictate your text? What's that? Dictation.
No, I never.
Oh, there's some funny videos out there where they've got a whole bunch of words put together, and when you actually say the words, it says me something differently. Oh God, there's some funny. Especially when I don't know what it is. If they get an older woman to say the word that's like very inappropriate, she doesn't realize she's saying it. Yeah. Like that Mike guy.
It's not right.
Yeah, very funny. I don't know why. You know what else? I remember the old show. Where they take all the bloopers from people like falling down and everything.
Oh, America's Funniest Video.
Oh,
yeah.
When they get the compilation of people like particularly overweight people falling down, I know it's not nice, but man, I would just die laughing. Oh.
Well, good thing about being tremendously overweight, it's very hard to kidnap you because if you got to come downstairs or anything, they're going to struggle.
That's a good. See, you can always find the positive things.
Yeah,
that's one of the many.
Silver lining in every cloud.
Yeah. Okay, so Myra wants to know what the update is on Larry Melnick. You say I have ADHD. True. Another dimple-headed dude. Is that ADHD? ADHD. Okay, so the update on Larry is that there is no update. So they're having, just so everybody's aware, for the Rangers golf tournament, they usually honor somebody. So this year, I don't know if I should announce who they're honoring, but they have a special person they're honoring. It had a big role when I was playing with the organization, a very big role. And so he kind of gets to choose, not all the people, but a lot of the people that come to the event. I mean, it's in his. So I was number 3 on the list. I questioned who was 2 ahead of me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah. That's a no-brainer.
I'll have to call Jackie up again and find out. I guess I was stunned when she said it. It's like somebody was ahead of me.
That hurts. That cuts right to the bone.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Bone. Nothing else going on we need to promote. We got the August 19th.
So we got that. And the Warriors, we're going out to Denver October 6th to the 8th for the national tournament.
Okay.
And then the National Disabled Hockey Tournament is in Wayne, New Jersey in April. And we're the host team. That's a huge event because you have sled hockey there. You got blind hockey there. You got, our program, Disabled Veterans.
Right.
It's a huge program. So we, and somewhere in between there is a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I got, probably going to be out in Wisconsin again for that.
I'll tell you what, those guys that do the sled hockey, I got on the sled one time. Strength in their arms, man, it's not an easy thing to do.
We 2 years ago, I think it was, we helped they had a sled hockey thing at the same rink, the ice wall in Wayne, and we went down and they had a first time thing for people that kids and stuff that had never been on a sled, and Jack, his last name. He's a local kid from Frank Lakes. He was on the gold medal team. It'll come to me. When they played like a A-level game. I was sitting there and go, these guys can play. I mean, they rip in to rim it. I mean, like
Yeah.
And it's fat and it's physical. I mean, they get at it. It's
They do. Yeah. It is one of those things, though. You watch somebody else do it. It's not that hard. And then you go there and do it yourself, man. It's tough to do.
Over. Yeah, it's not easy.
It gets the speed going and everything.
Yeah.
It's cool. Those people, hope I say this straight away. I've been around the sled hockey guys. I guess it's not just them, but they seem to have the most fun, like even making fun of themselves. Like we were sitting around after a game one time and they're talking about how they get paralyzed or lost limbs or whatever it was. The guy was talking about, used to use my dirt bike. It was a big hill. Didn't realize they dug out half the hill, went flying over the hill.
God.
And he's telling the story like he's laughing about it too. Like it's funny. And it's not. But.
This is a true story. This is like when I was a kid, but guy went to rim it, like put it in hard. And the ref was kind of up along the wall, and the bottom half of his right leg below the knee came off.
Oh.
And the skate and the prosthetic was spinning on the corner of the ice. Nobody knew the guy had a prosthetic. The kid that did it,
freaked out.
Yeah, that was great.
It's not funny, but
they're laughing. I mean, he was laughing. No one knew. The guy, because we were like, his stride's a little bit off. Now we know why. Yeah.
It reminds me of a story when I first got traded to the Kings. Me being Mr. Smartass. There's a guy that worked for the team, he's a travel guy that traveled around and made sure you got your hotel rooms a whole bit. Great guy. I can't remember his name. I'm at the back of the bus. And he's getting up there and he's counting to make sure a number of players are on the bus. So I said, take your shoe out. I said, take your shoe off and count your toes. Because like we've said that before. He takes I didn't know he's got a prosthetic leg. He takes his leg off. And the guys are, me being Mr. Smartass, and the guy's like, keep your mouth shut. Oh, good. That was funny. He got me good. I felt like such a jerk when he did that, but it was funny. He put me in my place.
Yeah, it could backfire on us sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that true? Oh, I had a cleaning lady one time, really sweet person, didn't speak very good English. Hadn't had her for a while as a cleaning lady. She came back in, and I think she's part of a crew. Really sweet. And I think she'd had a child and, still a little bit, just had a child, still a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I thought she was pregnant.
Right.
And thought I'd be really sweet. I asked her, I said, when are you due? And she started bawling, crying. She said, I'm not pregnant. And I'm like, oh, geez. I've learned my lesson then. I've been tempted
to come back and clean again.
Yeah.
That's what you should.
That's good one. See, I wasn't quick enough for that. I'm getting really good now at when I call somebody by the wrong name. It's like, did you change your name? And they're
like Beth gets so mad at me. I make names up, because I just I'll look at you. That's Tom. This guy's name's Mike. That's Tom. I just decided your name because you remind me of somebody or whatever. And
I think that's it. Right, just the advantage of getting older, right? Because you use like brain damage or age or whatever.
You can pass it off on being old. You can get a lot of, a little bit more leeway nowadays. Yeah.
The brain damage works too pretty good. Yeah.
It's real. It's not. We're not faking.
Yeah, that's exactly. The bad part. Very true. Very true. All right, everybody. Good show. Quiet time of the year. Everybody, the shoulder check. Go check that out. Shouldercheck.com. And it's a great. I didn't understand what they meant with shoulder check, but it is a great thing when we're out there around other people. Just put your hand on somebody's shoulder and say, "Hey, are you okay? I'm here for you." Time to tally. Help everybody else out. All right, brother. You have yourself a fantastic week, you Jersey boy, stud.
See you next week.